The mind of man is the greatest force known to humanity, and within it lies the seed of power that can transform the impossible into reality. Every dream that has ever been accomplished began first as a thought, and every barrier that has ever been broken was shattered by the determination of one who dared to believe. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary rests in one decisive action: the decision to push oneself beyond the comfortable limits of habit, fear, and doubt until everything once thought unattainable becomes possible. There is no mountain too high for the individual who dares to climb with persistence, no dream too distant for the one who chooses to move with faith, no obstacle too great for the one who refuses to stop when faced with resistance. The truth is simple yet profound. Possibility is not an external gift granted by fortune or chance. It is an internal force that awakens only when you stretch yourself beyond the easy path and into the realm where growth resides. The person who says, "I will not stop, I will not surrender, I will not bow to defeat," is the one who bends reality to their will. Most people live their lives surrounded by invisible fences built by doubt and fear. They stand within the small circle of what seems possible, looking at the vast horizon of what lies beyond, but never daring to step outside because the unknown feels threatening. Yet every great achievement in history was made by someone who ignored the fences and pushed beyond. The man who built great fortunes, the woman who broke barriers, the leader who inspired nations, all of them discovered that possibility is not found by standing still, but by moving forward when the path is uncertain. To push yourself is to break the chains of limitation that others have quietly accepted. There will be moments when your spirit feels weary, when your efforts appear wasted, and when the temptation whispers that it is easier to stop. But the one who pushes himself in those moments, who keeps moving even when the night seems long, discovers a truth known only to the few. Success is hidden behind the veil of persistence. Possibility does not reveal itself to the half-hearted or the faint of will. It opens its doors only to the determined soul who presses on when everything in them longs to quit. The mind has a mysterious power. Whatever it believes with clarity and holds with persistence, it ultimately brings to life. Yet belief without effort is nothing more than a wish, and effort without persistence is merely a wasted flame. The secret is to combine both belief and unyielding action, to push with the conviction that each step forward draws you closer to the realm where the impossible bends to your will. The very act of stretching yourself beyond your comfort zone awakens dormant powers within you, powers you never knew existed. Strength grows in the struggle, faith deepens in the trial, confidence is forged in the fire of resistance. Think of the athlete who refuses to stop at the point of exhaustion. Each extra step, each final repetition, builds a strength unseen by the casual observer. Think of the inventor who works through endless failures, pushing his mind to search deeper and farther, until the light of creation bursts forth. Think of the dreamer who is laughed at, ridiculed, and doubted by the world, yet pushes forward until the very ones who doubted him stand in awe of his accomplishment. This is the pattern of life. Greatness bows only to the one who has learned the discipline of pushing himself. Do not wait for the world to make things easy. Do not expect opportunities to fall into your hands without effort. The universe does not reward the passive observer, but the active participant. If you want to see the fullness of what is possible, you must stretch yourself beyond mediocrity. Push when others stop. Persist when others surrender. Work when others rest. Believe when others doubt. The world has no choice but to yield to the one who refuses to be defeated. Fear will come, for it always does. Doubt will arise, for it is the shadow that follows every great dream. Resistance will push against you, for every breakthrough requires struggle. But if you push yourself in the face of fear, you will discover courage. If you push yourself in the midst of doubt, you will discover faith. If you push yourself against resistance, you will discover strength. What once seemed impossible will slowly become inevitable. Every great mountain is climbed one step at a time, and every seemingly impossible goal is achieved through a series of small, determined pushes. The key is not to stop. The key is not to allow fatigue, frustration, or fear to dictate your destiny. The key is to keep pushing until the door opens, until the breakthrough arrives, until the moment comes when possibility expands before your eyes. Those who stop too soon never discover the treasure hidden beyond the final push. The life you desire is waiting for you, but it is not found on the path of ease. It is waiting on the path of struggle, where only those who push through their limitations can walk. You must be willing to endure temporary pain to experience lasting greatness. You must be willing to sacrifice short-term comfort to gain long-term success. You must be willing to face resistance with unshakable determination. The world will test your resolve, but it will ultimately yield to the one who pushes until everything is possible. There will always be voices that tell you it cannot be done. There will always be critics who mock your ambition. There will always be obstacles that try to block your path. Yet history is filled with those who ignored the voices, silenced the critics, and climbed over the obstacles. They did not achieve because life was easy. They achieved because they pushed themselves when it was hard. They chose persistence over surrender, courage over fear, and vision over doubt. Understand this. Possibility is not a gift reserved for the few. It belongs to anyone who dares to push themselves beyond what they think they can endure. It belongs to you if you are willing to claim it. The mind you carry, the breath within you, the fire in your spirit, these are the only tools you need to create a life where everything is possible. You must believe, and then you must act. You must act, and then you must persist. And you must persist until the world has no choice but to yield to your will. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure, but the refusal to try. The greatest loss is not defeat, but surrender. The greatest enemy is not the world outside, but the voice within that says, "Stop here. Do not push further." That voice has robbed millions of their destiny, but you have the power to silence it. You have the power to push past it. You have the power to prove it wrong. Every time you resist that voice and take one more step, you weaken its grip and strengthen your spirit. So rise each day with determination and push yourself until everything is possible. When you feel tired, push one more step. When you feel afraid, push one more step. When you feel doubtful, push one more step. It is in that extra push, that final effort, that breakthrough is born. The world is waiting for those who dare to keep going. It rewards those who persist. It crowns those who push themselves beyond the limits of comfort into the realm of the impossible. The destiny you seek, the success you desire, the greatness within you, all of it is waiting just beyond the point where most people stop. Push yourself to that place, and you will discover that what once felt impossible is now in your hand. Push yourself until everything is possible, for indeed, with unyielding determination, it truly is. The power of persistence is not measured in a single day, a single effort, or a single attempt. It is measured in the daily discipline of pushing yourself when everything within you says to rest. There is a hidden law of life. When you do more than is required, more than is expected, more than is comfortable, life rewards you with more than you imagined possible. The person who simply meets expectations never discovers greatness. It is the one who pushes beyond expectations, who demands more from himself than the world demands, who walks into the realm of true power. The truth is, you will never know what you are capable of until you push yourself into places where comfort cannot sustain you. Growth is not born in safety. Growth is born in risk, in struggle, in the willingness to step into the unknown with courage. Each time you extend yourself beyond your limits, you awaken a new strength. Each time you face resistance and keep going, you uncover a new ability. The impossible begins to shrink in the presence of your persistence, and suddenly what once looked like a wall becomes only a doorway. Every dream has a price, and that price is effort, sacrifice, and persistence. You cannot expect to live a life of abundance while giving only half of yourself. You cannot expect to command the possibilities of the universe while refusing to endure the discipline of persistence. The man who pushes himself when others rest gains an advantage that cannot be measured. The woman who presses forward when others quit secures a destiny others will only dream of. The world belongs to those who refuse to give up. You must never confuse temporary defeat with permanent failure. Temporary defeat is the testing ground, the refining fire, the place where the weak turn back and the strong grow stronger. Every failure carries within it the seed of equal success, but only the one who pushes forward discovers it. Those who stop too soon miss the treasure buried in the struggle. Those who continue, even when weary, uncover the hidden reward that lies just beyond the breaking point. So push yourself beyond fear, beyond fatigue, beyond frustration, beyond doubt. Push until your mind awakens to the truth that everything you desire is within your reach. Push until your heart believes in the power that has always been within you. Push until the walls of impossibility crumble before your determination. Push until you stand in the place where everything once thought impossible is now real, tangible, and yours. When you decide to push yourself beyond the familiar, you enter a realm where most people never dare to go. That realm is where growth hides, waiting for the bold, and where the rewards of life are stored for the persistent. The path is not lined with ease or instant gratification. It is lined with struggle, with the demand to give more than you think you can give, with the challenge to silence the doubts that creep in when results do not appear quickly. Yet it is in that very realm where your true power reveals itself, and the impossible begins to bow to your determination. Each day you rise is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are greater than your limitations. Each choice you make to take one more step, even when weary, builds the foundation for the life you dream of. Discipline is nothing more than choosing to push yourself when comfort calls your name. Success is nothing more than the accumulation of those choices, day after day, until the vision in your mind becomes the reality in your hands. Nothing in life comes without this price, but everything in life is possible to the one who pays it with persistence. Consider the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity. It is rarely intelligence, rarely talent, rarely luck. It is persistence. It is the refusal to stop. It is the determination to keep going when the path is dark and unclear. Those who push themselves find ways where none seem to exist. Those who stop convince themselves that nothing more can be done. Yet history is written by the ones who kept moving, who refused to surrender, who proved through their persistence that the impossible was only a shadow waiting to be dispelled by light. Your own life holds dreams waiting for you to claim them. They are not far from you. They are not beyond your reach. They are simply hidden behind effort, behind faith, behind persistence. Push yourself through the doubts, through the pain, through the resistance, and those dreams will reveal themselves. Refuse to stop, and life will refuse to deny you. Continue to push, and you will stand one day as the living proof that everything is indeed possible to the one who never gives up. The moment you choose to stretch yourself further than you ever have before, something awakens inside of you. That spark is the beginning of transformation. At first, the body resists, the mind protests, and the heart questions whether the effort is worth it. But when you persist, when you push yourself even after every fiber tells you to stop, you discover that you are stronger than you believed. Strength is not built in moments of ease, but in moments of strain, in moments when you test the limits of your endurance. Each time you endure, the boundary of what is possible expands. The greatest achievements in history were never born in comfort. They were born in struggle, in risk, in the determination of those who were willing to pay the price. They faced ridicule, doubt, and failure, yet they continued to push until their vision became undeniable. You, too, carry visions within you, dreams that are waiting to be realized, but those dreams will not bow to hesitation. They will not surrender to half-hearted effort. They will only come alive when you push yourself with such persistence that even your failures become stepping stones. Life is not a gift of ease, it is a challenge to grow. Growth is the true reward of pushing yourself. The wealth, the success, the recognition, these are only reflections of the deeper victory, the victory over your own limitations. Each time you push beyond fear, you prove to yourself that fear is nothing but an illusion. Each time you press through fatigue, you prove that your strength is deeper than your weakness. Each time you continue after defeat, you prove that nothing outside of you has the power to stop you unless you allow it. The road to possibility is never crowded, because few are willing to take it. Most turn back when the journey grows difficult, when results seem slow, when doubts grow louder than dreams. But the few who press on, those are the ones who reach the summit. And at that summit, they discover a truth that changes everything. The impossible was never truly impossible. It was only waiting for someone who refused to quit. So decide today, and decide every day, that you will push yourself until everything is possible. Decide that you will not be stopped by fear, fatigue, or failure. Decide that your destiny is worth the struggle, that your dreams are worth the price, that your life is worth the effort. Push yourself with such relentless determination that the world has no choice but to open its doors to you. Push until your vision becomes your reality. Push until your name becomes a testimony of persistence. Push until every limit crumbles and everything you once thought impossible stands within your grasp. In the end, everything you desire, everything you dream, and everything you imagine possible will come down to one truth. You must be willing to push yourself. The world does not hand over its treasures to those who sit and wait, but to those who persist, who rise after falling, who continue when others stop. You have within you a power greater than fear, greater than doubt, greater than any obstacle you will ever face. When you decide to stretch yourself beyond your comfort, when you commit to pressing forward no matter the resistance, the impossible begins to crumble before you. Do not stop when the path grows hard. Do not give in when the night feels long. Push yourself until everything is possible, and you will discover that it always was.